Keon Godas. He also lives in New Providence, and this is Saddam Desai. He lives in Parsippany.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah. Our team is called Sojatik.
Sogotix. Okay. And we will be presenting 2 missions, the demolition mission and the transport mission.
Which one do you want to do first?
We're doing demolition.
Alright, so get your robot set up and talk to us while you're setting up and going.
Okay. So basically, the demolition does actually 2 missions in one. It does the demolition and the salvage mission. We use an arm that is able to carry the frame while it's going there and knock down the structure while it's coming back. We also added a motor onto the robot that can move the arm, rotate the arm.
You can hit go while he's talking.
We also created a frame so that the demolition structures and the valuables can fall into it and we can bring it back. So basically what happens is that the program starts with the rod down, then the robot just keeps going with the frame until the frame touches the demolition area. Then it moves the arm up, keeps going forward, then brings the arm down and goes backwards, knocking down the structure and bringing the valuables into the frame and then bringing the frame back into base. Sidhu will now show you how this works.
Okay. So how did you decide on this strategy? How did you decide on the strategy?
Well, we decided that we would be able to drop this like the box thing in here, so that way we wouldn't get any penalties for the black boxes. And sometimes our robot Tyrannosaurus doesn't pick up the things, but we're supposed to take this.
It was one of our challenges.
Yeah,
we didn't exactly know like how high the bar was supposed to go. Like if it went too high, we'd miss the valuables. If it went too low, it would hit the ring or hit the bottom of the demolition.
Yep.
Do you want to see the program again?
If,
So,
okay. Or you can either do that one, you can do the other one. Which
I'd actually like to ask one question. Go ahead. How does it know how far to go?
Well, we're right now we're hard coding it with the rotations. We were going to use the color sensor, but it was not very reliable, so we decided to hard code it. And when it goes a certain amount of rotations, we bring the arm down and it.
Okay.
Because the problem with the color sensor is that it sometimes detects some stuff as black, some stuff as white, not always. So we decided to just hard code this part.
Okay.
Do you know why they actually put those pictures on there? To make it so that it wasn't so easy.
Which one are you doing next?
We're doing the
transport.
Can you tell us about what your strategy is around that one?
So, the components I use for this mission is a rotating arm. That's about it really needed for this mission. So what the robot does, is that it goes forward. So it goes forward until it hits that wall. Then what it does is that it turns and brings down the bar. And then it keeps going forward and it pushes the truck along with it.
So what's it doing now?
So we just set it to 24 rotations. So it just does that.
This is our last program, so we didn't think it was very necessary for it to come back to base. We're right on time anyway, so we wouldn't have. But there's no penalty, and it's allowed in the rules, so we decided to do that.
No, that's all right. It's fine.
And one challenge I faced in this mission was that when I pushed the truck, the drag of the bar, what it would do is it would tilt my robot, and the robot would collide into the sorter. So what I did was I used the wall to my advantage and had this wheel have more power.
Okay.
So then what would happen was that it would just cling to the wall, but still go forward.
Now, you actually discussed that. So, did you guys split your missions up? Is that what happened? Because you're kind of taking ownership of this particular mission, but you didn't take ownership of the other. So,
Yes, so what we did was, because we were a little bit low on time, so what we did was we assigned missions to each of us. He was in charge of the demolition, so he has the most. We all know each about, like, a lot about the
okay.
other missions, but he knows the most about it, how it works, and he knows the most about the transport. So we decided that they would do it and I would launch the programs, since I'm doing that in the robot game.
Okay.
All right. Who wrote the programs?
We all did that
We
together.
all did that together. We wrote the programs first, then we all made the mistakes, not mistakes. together.
Okay, I like that
Oh,
wording.
yeah.
That's very good. I like the
The
verbiage.
structural.
Hey, well, listen. While you're standing there, can you put that back together?
Yeah.
Or-
So,
and-
so while we're still here, how did you decide the missions that you wanted to do?
Well, we did the ones that seemed easy, but gave the most points, as in demolition.
So how did you figure that out?
Alright, well, what we did was we ruled out some missions like sorter and foldable taxi because A, they were hard, and B, they didn't give that many points. Then what we did was that since demolition is, well, it's kind of easier than the others, but it gave a lot of points because you can do demolition and salvage, then we did that. For the truck, it does 110 points just for pushing it forward. So,
So before we did any of the robot, we figured out we did our top. We listed the missions from most points and easiest to least points and hardest. So and then we picked the top few that we wanted to do.
Yeah. Most of the programs we chose, sometimes we realized that it's not that easy as it could have. Like, we were about to rule out compost, and like that was really easy, turned out to be. And I'm not sure about the others, but I personally think that the gas station might be more easier than demolition. I mean the factory.
What grades are you guys in? Like,
I'm in sixth.
sixth grade?
sixth.
Sixth grade. Okay.
Did you use the sensor at all for anything ultimately?
No, but
Okay,
we
that's-
used it to balance the structure a little bit. It kind of rests.
Okay.
We were gonna use it at first, but then
Yeah, fine.
because of all that unreliableness, we just decided not to use
That's
it.
fine.
We
I just
hardcore.
didn't.
So then it looks like you're moving a lot of distances. How did you figure out, and how long did it take you to figure out how
Actually,
far did
that
you
was
go?
not the very hard part.
Yeah, basically we just measured the distance from the base to wherever we wanted to go. Then we did some like math. We do like I didn't really figure out the math. I got this, but you can like figure out the radius, find the circumference of the wheel.
Yeah, so if you see this would be the starting, and we would rotate it by hand and see when one rotation was, and then we would edit it if it was going too much or too less.
Yeah,
My
five-
strategy was
five
just
inches
like
equals one
I knew
rotation.
like 5 inches is one rotation, 72 degrees is 1 inch. I got that off of First Lego League website. So I basically
Hey, use
used
your
the
resources.
measurements with that.
Absolutely.
You use your resources. So tell us a little bit more about your attachment. Oh, watch out! Don't lean too much on this.
The attachment, this robot arm.
Because like you used it both times really.
Yeah,
Actually,
Okay.
we have.
Okay, sorry.
different ones.
Yes.
So basically, what do you want to explain about them?
How did you?
Decide to do that.
Yeah. How did you? And the
Oh,
structure it's in. How did you get there?
Well, how we got there was that the main problem with the arm was the fact that it gave weight to one side or gave weight to one side.
Okay.
So the problem was that sometimes the robot would tilt that way or tilt that way. So how we decided to make the small motor, which controls the arm's rotation, in the middle, so that it doesn't give weight distributed to evenly on each side. And we used a light arm, and we used this gear to hold it, so it would still be durable.
We decided to use 2 different arms because this arm was suitable for the truck program because it didn't need to be that strong, and it's sorter to disarm, so it's able to like not go past the sorter without hitting it. this arm is longer so that it can stay away from the demolition and still hit it.
And still
It
hit
also
it.
has 2 bars, so it has more power, so it doesn't drag because of the demolition.
Okay.
I just have one question before. You use 4 tires,
Mhm.
4 wheels. Why didn't you use the ball bearing? Was there a reason why?
The ball what?
The little ball.
So we didn't use that because we wanted a little bit of we wanted the wheels to rub against the thing so we could create some friction and it could actually lean against it. We tried it with 2 wheels, but it would go like this, so we used 4 wheels to structure it. We didn't have that many problems turning, but
That's
One
that's
of
great.
the other reasons
so-
was that if
but
we
it-
used
but
the
it-
ball bearing, it would tilt down a little here,
Yeah,
and that would make like the arm
absolutely.
difficult.
Okay.
That's
Alright.
what I wanted to hear.
Great.
Nice.
You
We
did
need to
it.
cut you off, but
Yeah, that's
time's up.
Good luck.
right. Very nicely done, gentlemen. Very nice.
There's a lot of great things going on with the robots.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Good
job.
Guys.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank
have a
you.
great day.
Feedback.
Thank you.
Thanks